Hello students, so today we are going to start with our third chapter of history. Before that, some of you are having confusion and I guess you haven't gone through the book, so I will explain it off to you. This book is for both history and civics. The first portion of your books, it deals with the chapters of history. The last two parts deals with your civics. Okay, so when I say chapter 12, that really means chapter 1 of civics. Okay, theme 1. So I went by the serial number given in the book, so don't get confused in that. So right now we will start with the third chapter, that is your Indus Valley Civilization, from the theme 1, River Valley Civilization. Okay, so your chapter's name is Indus Valley Civilization. Indus Valley Civilization, it emerged in the Bronze Age in the Indian subcontinent, and it was near River Indus and its tributary. So we will start reading one by one. I'll explain each paragraph to you. So first we are going to go through your location and discovery and location. Indus Valley Civilization was a Bronze Age civilization that emerged in the Indian subcontinent along the river Indus and its tributary. Okay, so this talks about the time period, the era, and the location of Indus Valley Civilization. First, it was discovered by British explorer in the year 1826 and whose name was Charles Mason. Okay, he discovered it in India. They found some brick mounds in Punjab. Okay, so he thought they looked like old castle. Later in 1856, railway engineers, while laying railway tracks, found more such bricks. They did not realize its significance and carted the bricks off to Okay, so they did not realize that how important those bricks were. So they sent off the bricks for the railway construction. Okay, for the railway line construction between Karachi and Lahore in Pakistan. Now, this paragraph deals about the other evacuation that happened and how Indus Valley Civilization people got to know about this civilization. Okay, the next was the Indian archaeologist Dayaram Sahani in the year 1921. Okay, he evacuated the ancient. So it was in the year 1921. An Indian archaeologist Dayaram Sahani, he excavated the ancient ruins of Harappa on the banks of river Ravi in western Punjab. Okay, so it's really important for you to remember who did it, in which year it was done, and where it was done. Okay, in 1922, it was Rakal Das Banerjee who excavated the remains of another city, that is Mohenjo-daro, on the banks of river Indus. Fine. Then in 1931, a large-scale excavation was carried out, and it was supervised under John Marshall. Okay, it was done in which place? Mohenjo-daro. Subsequently, similar ancient cities were unearthed from the other location in Indus River Valley. The ancient cities were a part of the Indus Valley civilization, which flourished between 3300 BCE and 1300 BCE. So, what was the time period until what year in the Harappan civilization? So, the time period in which your Indus Valley civilization or the Harappan civilization flourished was 3300 BCE to 1300 BCE. It is also called as Harappan civilization. Why? The first site of the civilization to discovered was Harappa. So based on the name Harappa, it was called as Harappan civilization. So most of the sites were found near the river bank in this. Okay, and you can see that the settlements were spread from the northwestern part of India. Okay, from Baluchistan and Sindh to Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, Punjab, and western Uttar Pradesh. So the important sites for Harappan civilization was Harappa and Mohenjo-daro in Pakistan, Lothal and Dhulavira in Gujarat, Ropar in Punjab, Kali Bangan in Rajasthan. Okay, so you have to remember the important sites of Harappan civilization site. So our next part of the chapter, it talks about the features of the Indus Valley civilization. So when excavation was carried out, it told us a lot about this civilization. Okay, it taught about the town planning, the laws, the systems, and art and craft. And it reflects one very important thing, that was the Indus Valley people. Okay, this civilization was very much civilized, and the techniques which they used in their town planning and their day-to-day life, it was way ahead of their time. Okay, so our first topic is town planning. So the city or the town was divided into two sections. First was citadel, the other one was lower town. Okay, the citadel was located on high ground, okay, above the rest of the city. It included all the so the citadel was located at on a high ground above the rest of the city, means it was built at a at a raised point. Okay, at a raised point of the land. And the lower town included all the houses of the city. A strong wall of burnt bricks separated the citadel from the lower town. Okay, so there was a division, there was a division of the city which was done, and that was done with the with a wall of burnt bricks. Okay, and as per to the historians, or I would say that it was actually like that, citadel was occupied by the ruling class and the lower town was occupied by the commoners. Okay, commoners means common people. There were broad brick roads in Harappa which intersected each other at right angles, dividing the city into grids. The broad roads allowed passage for carts driven by animal. The design and division of the city showed that a lot of thought had been put into its planning. Okay, so there were roads were also properly built. They intersected each other at right angles. Okay, and this intersection and the construction of road, it divided the city into grids. Okay, and the roads were very broad so that carts driven by animal could pass. And it shows that, okay, the city planning shows that it was properly planned. Before turning it into a city, a lot of thought was given into it and properly it was planned. So it is said that the Harappan people, they were very skilled. So how do we understand, or how do we come to know that they are skilled people? We get to understand this by the architectural skills of the people. Okay, by the pattern in which their houses were made, the public structures, or the drainage system which was made. As we go further and study about the architecture, you will see how well planned everything was and how every space were used. Okay, so let's come to the first one in our topic, architecture, subtopic house. Okay, the houses of the Indus Valley built in the lower town were mostly 1 or 2 story structures. Can you see this picture over here? So this is an artistic impression, means after the excavation, the artists put their thought in, and from whatever they found out, this is the kind of a picture which they built. Okay, it was either 1 story or 2 story structures. Each house had a courtyard at the center surrounded by rooms. Can you see? So this one is your courtyard, and this is all how it's surrounded by the rooms. Okay, how it is surrounded by the rooms. They were mostly built with sun-dried bricks or unbaked bricks and stones. Some houses even had their own wells. Each house had small drains to let out the used water from the house and joined a network of bigger covered drains that ran along the house walls. The bigger drains had points from where they could be cleared. Okay, so each house, as you can read over here, each house, they had their own drainage system. Once all their water that was used from the water, that was cleared out using the drains. Okay, and it used to join the bigger drains, and each drainage, they had a point from where they can be cleared, as similarly as we have now. Okay, so can you see how advanced they were at that period of time? Come to the next one, public structures. The citadel was separated from the city by a strong wall made of burnt bricks. Many important public buildings of the town, including the great granary at Harappa, the great bath, the assembly hall at Mohenjo-daro, were built inside the citadel. So citadel was the important part of the city. Okay, so this citadel, it included the great granary, the great bath, assembly hall. Okay, what is the great granary? Now we will study about it. The Great Granary of Harappa was a massive structure of 12 granaries divided into 2 equal rows. It was used for storing surplus fruit grains. Circular platforms near the granaries were used for the process of threshing. These granaries were located near the river to facilitate easy transport of grains. A similar structure has been found in Mohenjo-daro, highlighting the similarities between the two towns. So in the granary, okay, it was 12 granaries, okay, it was a structure of 12 granaries that was divided into 2 equal rows. So in this granary they used to store surplus food grain, and these were located near the river so that transportation becomes easy. Transportation means they used this for trade, okay. So for moving it from one place to another, it was important that these granaries were located near the rivers. Granary over here, it means the storehouse for storing grains, okay. So our next paragraph, it talks about the Great Bath of Mohenjo-daro. The Great Bath of Mohenjo-daro is a unique structure of Indus Valley civilization. It was a rectangular structure with 6 different entrances leading to the central bathing pool. Flights of stairs on either end of the bath led down to the bottom of the pool. It used to be filled with water on special occasion when important people of the city came to take a dip. The structure also had separate galleries and dressing rooms. The Great Bath was probably used for religious rituals and ceremonies, okay. So the Great Bath of Mohenjo-daro, it was a unique structure. It was a huge pool, okay, which had 6 different entrances, okay, leading to the central bathing pool. It was stairs were used for entering stairs were used for entering the pools. It was stairs were made to go down deep, so stairs were used to go to the bottom of the pools, okay. And this the bath used to be filled with water when some important people used to visit the cities, okay. It is believed that many religious rituals and ceremonies were also performed at the Great Bath. This Great Bath also had dressing rooms and galleries so that people could take bath and change and so on. The next topic is assembly hall, okay. So this pillar, it is a pillared hall having 20 pillars arranged in 4 rows. It may have been used for collective prayers by the people. So assembly hall is believed to be the place where people used to pray. It was a hall which had like 20 pillars, okay, arranged in 4 rows. So our next topic is drainage system, okay. As we discussed earlier, the drainage system during the Harappan civilization was very well designed, and each houses had their own drainage drains, and it used to join the larger drains, okay. So let's go through what the paragraph says. The Indus Valley people designed an intensive and detail oriented drainage system. Drainage system was given a priority before the construction of houses. Each house had drains connected to a series of drains running along the main streets. The drains made of clean fired or baked bricks and were covered. They had a slight slant so that water could easily flow through them. Stone slabs or bricks covered these drains. The drains on the streets had manholes which were inspected and cleaned at regular intervals. All these evidence state that people paid great attention to sanitization and cleanliness. So they were better than what we are right now. Our drainage system, you can see that not in all the places it's closed, but during their time the drainage systems were closed, okay. And before they could build houses, they made sure that the drainage system was put into place and it's proper functioning, okay. This is how the drainage system were made, so that water could easily pass through them, and these drainage systems were inspected regularly and they were cleaned regularly as well. This proves that people paid a lot of detailed attention to the sanitation and cleanliness of their surrounding. Next topic is political and social structure. Okay, so we are going to study about the political system as well as the social structure of the civilization. So the Indus Valley people, they had centralized political system. Okay, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro is believed to be the administrative capitals of the civilization. The terracotta figure of a bearded man discovered at the site is believed to be the priest king. The remarkable town planning in the civilization bears evidence of efficient administrative system with exercised good supervision and control. So the planning, how does we understand that they were very good with their political system, okay, and efficient administrative system? By reading and by understanding their town planning system. Okay, every house, the way it was made, it would have been possible if the people at par, they made sure that things are working accordingly. Okay, so next comes the social structure. The social structure consists of various social groups such as rulers, merchants, traders, artisans, farmers, and laborers. So this is the social structure which was present in the civilization. Next topic is food. Okay, first one is the staple food of Indus Valley people was wheat and barley. Okay, their diet also included mustard, milk, meat, fish, egg, and various types of fruits and vegetables. Now comes clothing. Clothing is male. Okay, people in the Indus Valley, they wore cotton and wool dresses. Okay, so cotton and wool are the material which was used for making their clothes. So males, they were in lower body, they used to wear dhotis. For females, they wore skirts. Okay, shawls were used to cover their upper bodies. Ornaments were also very famous at that point of time. Okay, so necklace, amulets, finger rings, it was worn by both men and women. But gold, silver, and ivory, it was used by rich people, whereas shell, bones, and coppers were used by the poor people, okay, for making ornaments. Can you see over here? It is an example of the jewelry which was used at that point of time. Next topic is entertainment. So these Harappan people are famous for their board games and their indoor games. Okay, and in the free time, they used to love dancing and singing. Pieces of chess has been found. Okay, and clay toys such as wheel carts, doll, animal, whistles, and monkeys were also discovered. All the toys, okay, all the toys, they were made up of terracotta or baked clay. So our next topic is occupation. Okay, so Harappan people, they were very skillful in hunting, fishing, spinning, weaving, masonry, and carpentry. Okay, masonry means stonework. So first comes your agriculture. Agriculture was the primary occupation as the land was made fertile by slits deposited during the flood. Okay, so agriculture was the main occupation. As you can also see that their location was along the river Indus. So the availability of water and fertile land was very easy. So they grew very crops such as wheat, barley, peas, sesame, lentils, and various other fruits and vegetables. Okay, and by excavation in that area, it is also said that Harappan civilization or the Indus Valley people, they were the first people to cultivate cotton. Next topic is your domestication of animal. Okay, so people were domesticated as well as they were used for as the means of transport by the people. Okay, so animals that were domesticated were dogs and cat, humped and short-horned cattle, domestic fowls, and possibly camels and buffaloes. Okay, donkeys and camels, they were used for transporting goods from one place to another. And the remains, okay, the remains of animal bones, it suggests that wide range of animals were used for domestication as well. The next one is your art and craft. Okay, so it is said that Indus Valley people, they were known for their pottery and sculpting. Okay, so the archaeologists have identified potters' kiln and workshop of metal workers, shell ornaments makers, and bead makers. The Harappans were highly skilled in crafting metal with variety of techniques. Okay, so they were very skilled with metals. They used different techniques to make these metals into your day-to-day utensils or jewelries or figures and shrines. Okay, so the goldsmith, they made jewelry out of gold and silver. The coppersmith used coppers for creating utensils for daily use. The bronzesmith created weaponaries, various handy tools, and artistic sculptures. So one of the iconic sculptures that was discovered at that point was the dancing girl from the city of Mohenjo-daro. Okay, and similarly other female figurines were also found, and they were interpreted as idols of goddesses. So apart from their metalwork, their agriculture and everything, they were very good potters. Okay, you can see distinctive pottery in dark colors and glassy textures, and they used to come in different shape, size, and designs. Okay, the designs were depiction of plants, birds, and other abstract forms, which were often painted on a red surface. They were widely known for their boats and boat making and bricklaying skills. Next comes your trade and commerce. So before I start this, I would like to remind you when we were studying about the Mesopotamian civilization and their trade and commerce. In very briefly, they told us that there was a trade relationship between the Indus Valley and Mesopotamian civilization, as their seeds were found in the excavation sites. Okay, so let's go through the paragraph. The people of Indus Valley civilization traded extensively with within the civilization and other civilization. Okay, so what does this mean? That they had a very trade relationship within the civilization. Means they used to trade goods and services in the civilization within the boundaries of the city and the civilization, as well as they had international or international civilization. That means with other civilization, as for example Mesopotamian civilization or any other civilization. Okay, the items which were exchanged were silver, copper, lapis lazuli, and turquoise, which most of which used to come from West or Central Asia. Okay, the extent of trading network was confirmed through the discovery of a small settlement in Shatugai in northeast Afghanistan, which probably served as a trading colony. Okay, so the extent of trading network means the length at which the trading used to happen. It was confirmed by the discovery of a settlement. Okay, that the place is called as Shatugai in northern Afghanistan, and it served as a trading colony. Items such as timber, cotton, and spices were traded with countries across the Persian Gulf. Copper was obtained from the mines of the present-day Rajasthan. Tin was produced from Afghanistan. Okay, so you can see that how different materials were traded in and traded out from different parts of the world. Okay, barter system was there, but there have been standardized stone weights that have been found at Mohenjo-daro. Okay, this proves that serious commercial transaction was also present at that point of time. Trade was carried out through land as well as sea. Lothal in Gujarat was an important port city for the civilization. For why it was important? Because it was a port and a lot of your trade transactions used to take place at that place. So our next topic is seals. Okay, so thousands of seals have been found from Indus Valley site. Most of them have short inscriptions with pictures of one-horned unicorns, buffaloes, tigers, rhinoceros, goats, elephant, antelopes, and crocodiles. A typical seal was a flat rectangle or a square tablet made of steatite and faience. They were probably used by traders and merchants for stamping goods. However, some were used as ornaments such as amulets. Okay, so these seals were either used as stamping over the goods by the traders and merchants, and some were used for making ornaments. Okay, so it was short inscriptions were there with pictures on it of unicorns, buffaloes, tiger, rhinoceros, etc. They were either rectangle or square in shape. Your next topic is script. Okay, so the script which was used in the Harappan civilization was pictographic in nature. That means each letter, it was instead of letter, pictures were used for projecting the ideas or the object that wanted to be written. Okay, writing was done using a pointed stick in a soft clay or a sharp tool to scratch marks on stone or metal. Around 400 different symbols have been discovered. However, the script has not been deciphered yet. That means decoded. Though they have the script, but they still haven't been able to understand what has been written. So, can you see this? This is how the Harappan script looks like. Next is your religion and culture. So, there has people, as of for now till date, they haven't identified any religious buildings. Okay, even if the buildings are there, they couldn't identify it because there were no icons or ornaments that could give the idea that okay, this is a religious figure of the civilization. But female figurines have been discovered from more than one site. These figurines were probably worshipped by Harappans. Okay, so even before we were reading about the art and culture, we read that female figurines were found in different sites of the Harappan civilization. It is believed that these female figurines were worshipped by the Harappans. Okay, apart from the figurines, some seal bearings of image of male deity and three faces seated in a yogic position and surrounded by various animals have been found. Okay, so in some of the seals, this image of the male deity have been found. It has three faces and it is sitting in a yogic position and it is surrounded by animals. The picture of it has been given in the same page over here. You can see it in your book. Okay, the Indus Valley people, they also believed in life after death. Okay, so they used to bury their dead bodies with the daily usage items such as utensil, pots, tools and ornaments. They also cremated their dead bodies. Okay, and the ashes, it was kept and stored in urn, and it was stored in urn and kept with the daily utensils. Means urn means the urn is a kind of a vessel where people put the ashes of the dead bodies. Okay, and it is in their culture it was kept with the daily utensils. Last topic is the decline of the civilization. Okay, it deals with how the civilization ended. It reached, I'll just tell you how that happened. Okay, you can go through the paragraph on your own. It reached its peak between 2600 BCE and 1900 BCE. However, this great civilization seemed to have fallen between 1900 BCE and 1700 BCE. There are many reasons that can be identified for the decline of the civilization, but the main reasons are causing of flood in some areas and drought in other places. So flood destroyed the civilization, and also because of drought people died. Okay, deforestation, and there are many people who think that deforestation was also the main cause of decline, whereas some believe that invasion of foreign tribes such as the Aryans might have played a role. Okay, but most people, they believe that environmental disaster caused the crops to fail and people starved to death, and also because that disease spread. Okay, so Indus Valley civilization, it laid the foundation of the Indian culture and society. Okay, most of our society and culture, it has been influenced by the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, I hope you all have understood the chapter. Please try doing the small exercises such as fill in the blanks, name of the following, choose the correct answers, and answer the questions briefly. This should either be answered in 1 line or 2 lines, not more than that. I hope you have understood the chapter. Thank you.